we change it? Can we travel in time faster or slower than 1 hour per hour? Or can we go backward in time, like say 2 hours per hour? Can we do it? Today we are going to burst some myths and state some facts about time traveling, the intricacies in being a time traveler, and the physical fundamental laws governing time machine. So what is time traveling? Well, according to the definition of Wikipedia, time travel is the concept of movement between certain points in time, analogous to the movement between certain points in space by an object or a person by a hypothetical device known as time machine. Many people think that time traveling is a fiction, but it's actually hard-based science. Well, the thing about time traveling is there are certain ways to travel in time. There are 4 most popular ways of them, and today we are going to discuss those 4 ways. Think time machine as a device which travels faster than light, which brings us to our first method of time traveling, that if you go faster than light, then you actually travel slower in time.
Say for example, you were 15 years old when you left Earth in a spacecraft traveling at a tremendous speed of 99.5% of speed of light, which is much faster than we can achieve now, and celebrated only 5 birthdays during your space voyage. When you get home at the age of 20, you would find that all your classmates were 65 years old, retired, and enjoying their grandchildren cool. Because time passed more slowly for you, you will have experienced only 5 years of life, while your classmates will have experienced a full 50 years. Kind of interesting, isn't it?
So if your journey began in 2003, it would have taken only 5 years to travel to the year 2053, whereas it would have taken all of your friends 50 years. In sense, it means that you have been time traveling. This is a way of going at future at a rate faster than 1 hour per hour. Time travel of a sort also occurs for objects in gravitational field. Einstein had another remarkable theory called theory of relativity, which predicts that time passes more slowly for objects in intense gravity, like here on Earth, than objects far from gravitational fields of Earth. So there are all kinds of space and time distortions near black holes, where gravity can be very intense.
Last few years, some scientists have used those distortions in space-time to think of possible ways time machine could work. Cool. Some like the ideas of wormholes, which was broadly popularized by the physicist Stephen Hawking, which may be shortcuts through space-time. This and the other ideas are wonderfully interesting, but we don't know at this point whether they are possible for real objects or not. Still, the ideas are based on good solid science. In all time-traveling theories allowed by real science, there is no way a traveler can go back in time to before the time machine was built.
The faster you move in space, the slower you move in time. To understand the above statement, let us first discuss what is time. Well, according to physicist Albert Einstein, time is relative. It varies through different observers going throughout the space. Space is described as a 3-dimensional arena, which provides a traveler with coordinates such as length, width, and height. Well, they show location. Time provides another location, which conventionally goes only in forward direction. But what we are trying to do here is to reverse it. Picture a 4-dimensional fabric called space-time. When anything that has mass sits on a piece of fabric, it causes a dimple or a bending of space-time. The bending of space-time causes objects to move on a curved path, and that curvature of space is called as gravity. Astronomer Frank Tipler proposed a mechanism, sometimes known as Tipler's cylinder, where one would take matter that is 10 times the sun's mass, concentrated into a very long but dense cylinder. And after spinning this up a few billion revolutions, according to Anderson Institute, a spaceship nearby, following a very precise spiral path around the cylinder, would get itself closed on a closed time-like curve. There are certain limitations with this method, however, including the fact that the cylinder needs to be infinitely long. Another idea put forward by American physicist Ron Mallett is to use a rotating cylinder of light to twist space-time. Anything dropped inside this cylinder could theoretically be dragged around in space and time in a similar way how a bubble runs in your coffee mug while you swirl it with your spoon. Many physicists, including Stephen Hawking, believe wormholes are constantly popping in and out of existence. Well, at a scale far smaller than atoms. The trick would be to inflate those scales to human levels. That would require a huge amount of energy and a feat that is just possible in theory. As we have discussed all the ways of traveling to future, or maybe to say traveling in past, which is not possible by many of the ways, but there are certain few ways through which we can travel in time. So there's one of the most popular belief that if we travel to the center of Earth, the gravity becomes so much intense that the value of G nearest to our feet would be far different than the value of gravity to our head. Hence our feet would be in another time dimension to our head, and it's in a sense we can travel in time, which it's quite complicated as it is time traveling.
Hope you guys have enjoyed and experienced the thrill of time traveling during the video. And thanks a lot, Shashank, for explaining us and giving us detail about the time traveling. So guys, if you like our video, share our video, and please subscribe to our channel of The Engineering Heights. And comment down for any queries or doubts.